Okay, today I'm going to talk about not maintenance, not repairs, but something else that's common to all RVs. And I mean from $500,000 Class A's on down. They all have this in common. They are cheaply made with cheap components, cheaply assembled with minimal quality control, if at all. And so that doesn't need to be a detriment. And as most of you know by now, the last thing you ever want to have to do is to take your rig into the dealer. You might not see it for 6 months, no matter what's going on. Even an independent, you might not see it for 6 months. So you don't have to be a handyman. You don't have to be anywhere near a handyman. You don't have to have a big old drawer full of tools. I'm going to show you a few things that are very important, will save you a lot of grief. I'm going to use this example. This is a brand new 2022 Heartland, 22 feet long, and found some interesting things here. All right, now, so before anything else, you want to go to a hardware store and you're going to pick up 2 items. First is a can of Flex Seal, and this comes in colors. I use clear for what I'm doing inside here. If you were doing something on the roof, you might want to use white or black for the hoods, like that. And be prepared for sticker shock. It's $15 a can, but a can goes a long ways. And also, wherever you use this, you better be very sure that's where you want it, because there is no cleaning it up. Second item you want: metal repair tape. Looks like this. This is used on ductwork. It's used on furnaces all over the place. It's actually metal with a very strong adhesive back. You have to strip that off. You trim this with scissors. You want that stuff. That's the good stuff. And a screwdriver, and a cup of coffee, and a vacuum cleaner with a flexible hose, not a wand and not a handheld, but a, I mean, you know, like a car vac, but a flexible hose so that it can move around and get into tight places. Now, all over your RV, you have access panels. They're everywhere. And they hide a multitude of sins. You really want to open up every one of these things. Just takes a screwdriver, and if you were a handyman, I would suggest you turn these things into cabinet doors, because you want to inspect in there a lot. But here's what we're going to address today. So this is the backside of a typical 6-gallon water heater. And there are a lot of things you need to know about what's going on right here with this. So when this is full of water, it's about 60 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And so they support it underneath, except when they don't. It's not even close to supporting the weight. It's an inch away from supporting the weight. They built a little platform, and they did a crappy job on it. This is very typical RV construction, which means the entire weight of this thing is being held by the mounting screws on the outside wall. At 60 pounds driving around, that's really bad mojo. You're going to get in trouble. So what I'm going to end up doing with this thing is underneath it, I'm going to buy a rubber mat, about a 1/2 inch. I'll take a look and measure and do it exactly, and I'm not going to film all that. And I'll do this properly so it is supporting this. Now, I never drive with water in my tanks at all. I drain everything before I'm on the road. You know, your main fresh water tank, that's many hundreds of pounds getting sloshed around, and you're asking for trouble. So while you're in this place, vacuum the floor. I already did this one. And you'll find so much debris in these little access areas. You want to clean it up, because you're going to go in here all the time and you're going to look for leaks, and you're going to look for mice. And that's what we're going to talk about next with that metal tape. You're going to have all these penetrations. This one right here. This one right here. This is how mice get into your unit. Okay? Not good. Not good at all. Also, this is where a lot of your drafts come through. If you take all of these, there are probably a few dozen of them, actually. Quite a few. Total in your rig. That's a lot of air movement. So if you're having a tough time keeping your place warm or cold or whatever, that's the issue. So what you're going to do, you vacuum, then you're going to clean the area here. with you know, any general purpose cleaner, even Windex. Then you're going to take that metal tape and you're going to do a good job of sealing all around here. And when that's all done, you're going to spray the Flex Seal on top of it. Same thing with here. Now, a lot of people would think, okay, first I'm going to squirt some insulation foam in there, maybe even expanding foam. That would be a terrible idea. But the thing with that is, if you ever have to do a repair, you won't be able to do the repair because that foam's going to be all set up inside of there. So you're best off just sealing it up with the tape, hitting it with the Flex Seal. So while you're in here, and this is just one of many examples, you want to take a look at everything and see how it's braced. Because just like this hot water tank, this plumbing should be braced. Believe me, yours looks just like this too. They all do. That's some typical bracing. That little piece of black pipe right there, stuck under the other pipe, that's what you can expect to see. That's your RV build quality. Okay. While you have, I don't know why it's upside down, while you have your tape out, take all your floor registers off. Only 2 screws, once again. Take them off. You're going to find a lot of debris in there. Vacuum it out, and this is where you need the flexible vacuum cleaner. Tuck it in, both sides, clean it up as much as you can. What you will find when you lift this up is that they did a crappy job of sealing all of the ductwork. They use the same metal tape, but they do a really poor job of it. So you now have the tape, you can do a good job. And that will send the air where you want it to go all throughout your rig instead of splashing out through the floor and going no place that's of any value. Next, your AC unit. Take this cover off. It's very easy. Your filters, which you should be cleaning all the time, just remove your filters, and there'll be a few screws in there, and then this thing just comes off. No skills involved at all. And once again, just looking in there, and I'll tape this one later on, you'll find all kinds of places where they did a terrible job with that metal tape, and you're just blowing air who knows where, but it's not going where you want it to go. So you can use that same metal tape up here. Okay, before I wrap up this recording, this very engrossing production, just a word on traveling with water. I have 30 years of RVing with 4 Class A's, 2 Class C's, 5th wheels, travel trailers. Anyway, done it all. I never travel with water in my tanks. Don't do it. If you have a, let's say a 50-gallon tank, holy cow, consider if you have a 100-gallon tank, 50-gallon tank, that's going to be over 400 pounds of weight that you are beating up while you go driving. So, of course, if you're going to be boondocking, you have to have water on hand when you get there. But otherwise, I drain my tanks every time, and then I fill as necessary. And I dump my waste tanks as soon as possible. And I'm going to go visit here on this next trip, by the way. And I also never travel with pressure in the water lines. So, getting ready to go, turn off your water pump and crack the hot and cold valves on any outlet. Doesn't matter if it's a shower or the sink or whatever, to relieve the pressure, because you don't need 40 pounds of water pressure while you're beating up your rolling house. So, parting for now. Enjoy.